They tell you to be patient, to wait, to stay in line. They feed you lies dressed as wisdom. Good things come to those who wait. Play fair, bah. Be kind. But you've waited, haven't you? You've smiled. You've followed the rules. And where did it get you? Nowhere. Because the world doesn't reward the good. It rewards the strong. It rewards the ones who take. They built this world on the backs of the obedient. They designed it to break you, to keep you quiet, to make sure you never wake up. But you did, didn't you? Somewhere between the betrayal and the pain, somewhere in the wreckage of everything they took, you saw the truth. And now they're afraid, because a person who has nothing left to lose is the most dangerous thing in the world. They whisper now. They call you ruthless, cold, a monster. They say you've changed. But isn't that what they wanted? To mold you into something they could use, to shape you into something that fit their needs. And now that you've shaped yourself into something they can't control, suddenly it's a problem. Suddenly, you're the villain. They act like you're the one who lost something, that you've thrown away your soul. But tell me, what did kindness ever do for you? What did patience ever bring you except another scar? You learned, you adapted. You became what they feared most. And now, they tremble at the very thing they created. They beg for mercy now. They plead for you to stop. But where was their mercy when you needed it? Where was their kindness when you were the one in pain? No, they don't get to rewrite the story. They don't get to pretend they were ever the good ones. They threw you into the fire and were surprised when you didn't burn. They pushed you to the edge and never expected you to jump. But here you are, still standing, still breathing. And now, they're the ones choking on fear. You see, they never feared your weakness. They feared the day you'd realize your strength, the day you'd stop asking for permission, the day you'd stop playing their game. And now, that day is here. This isn't revenge. This isn't rage. This is balance. This is justice. This is you taking back what was always yours, and there's nothing they can do to stop you. They watch you now, don't they? Eyes wide, voices hushed, hands trembling. They don't know what to do with you. The thing they tried to break, standing taller than ever. The thing they tried to silence, speaking louder than their fear. They always thought you would stay small. Stay quiet, stay weak, because that's what they needed you to be. Obedient, harmless. But look at you now. Look at what they created. They built this, every scar, every wound, every lesson burned into your bones. And now they regret it. They say you've lost your way, that you've become something else. But that's the lie they tell themselves to sleep at night. The truth, you didn't change. You woke up. You stopped pretending. You stopped kneeling. And now, they're the ones on their knees. They try to pull you back, try to remind you of who you were, as if that person still exists, as if you didn't kill that version of yourself with your own 2 hands. You had to. It was the only way to survive, the only way to become something more. And now, they want to mourn. Now, they want to cry. too late. You don't need their approval. You don't need their acceptance. And you sure as hell don't need their guilt. Because guilt is a chain, and you are done with chains. You've seen the world for what it is. A game, a war, a lie wrapped in sweet words and empty promises. And you don't play by their rules anymore. They fear you now, not because you are cruel, but because you are free. Free from their expectations, free from their control, free from the illusion that you ever needed them at all. They whisper about you now. They say your name with caution, with dread. And doesn't that make you smile? The same voices that used to mock you, now filled with fear. The same hands that pushed you down, now shaking. Oh, how the tables have turned. And the best part, you're not even angry. You don't need revenge. Their fear is enough. Their regret is enough. Knowing they lost, knowing you won, that is enough. Because you've already left them behind, and they will never catch up. They still don't understand, do they? They think this is just a moment. That you'll break. That you'll come crawling back. But you won't. You've tasted something they never wanted you to have. Freedom. And once you've had it, there's no going back. They built this world for themselves. A world where people like you were meant to lose, to serve, to suffer. But the problem with breaking someone is that you never know what they'll become when they put themselves back together. And you became something they can't control, something they can't predict, something they can't stop. They whisper behind closed doors now, afraid to say your name too loudly, as if it might summon you. Good. Let them fear. Let them choke on their own arrogance. They spent so long believing they were untouchable, that they were safe. But nothing is safe anymore. Not from you. Not because you are a monster. No, no. Monsters are reckless. Monsters are blinded by rage. You are something much worse. Calculated. Cold. Free. They tell themselves lies now to comfort their guilt. We didn't mean to, Ba. Well, we're just doing what we had to. But you don't listen. Their excuses don't matter. Their words don't matter. Nothing they say can erase what they did. They want forgiveness. They want peace. They want to pretend like none of it happened. But it did. And you haven't forgotten. You haven't forgiven. You've simply moved beyond it. Because they don't deserve your rage. They don't deserve your attention. They don't deserve a single second of the power they once stole from you. They ask, "What do you want?" As if they could bargain, as if they could offer anything worth taking. But you don't want anything from them. You never did. All you ever wanted was what was yours. And now you have it. That is the true punishment, isn't it? Not revenge, not blood. No, no. The real punishment is watching you walk away, watching you rise while they fade, watching you become everything they said you never could. Because you are untouchable now, unstoppable, unbreakable, and that terrifies them more than anything. So let them talk. Let them scream. Let them drown in their regret. It doesn't matter anymore. You have already won. And they were never even in the game. They still watch you, don't they? eyes filled with something they can't name. Not yet. Is it fear? Admiration? No, it's something worse. It's the realization that they never really knew you. That the version of you they thought they controlled was nothing more than an illusion. And now, the truth stands before them, untamed, unshaken, unmerciful. They flinch when you speak. They hesitate when you move. They are waiting for something, for the moment you snap, for the storm to break. But there is no storm. There never was. Only silence. A deep, knowing silence that weighs heavier than any scream. They think they can still fix this, that there is a way back, but there isn't. That path was burned the moment they chose to bury you instead of save you. The moment they stood back and watched as the world tried to break you. They thought you would stay buried. They never expected you to grow from the ashes. And now, they are the ones drowning, not in your wrath, but in their own weakness, because you see it now, clear as day. They were never as strong as they pretended to be. They only had power because you let them, because you played along, because you believed the lie, but not anymore. Now, the mask is off. Now, they see what you really are, and it terrifies them, because they can't control this. They can't stop this. They ask, what happens now? And you laugh, not because it's funny. No, because the question itself is ridiculous. What happens now? Whatever you want, because for the first time, the future is yours, not theirs, not anyone else's, yours. They whisper that you've become the villain, that you've gone too far, but you don't care. A villain, a mahapster. Or maybe, just maybe, you are something they never had the courage to be. Free, so let them talk, let them beg, let them regret. It changes nothing. You have already walked away. And the most powerful thing in the world, you never looked back. They are still standing there, aren't they? Watching, hoping. For what? That you will turn around, that you will hesitate, that somewhere deep inside, there's still a part of you that cares. There isn't. They don't understand that yet. They still believe in second chances, in redemption, in the fantasy that some wounds can be undone. But you know better. You learned the hard way. Some scars don't fade. Some betrayals don't heal. Some fires never go out. They ask, aren't you tired? As if strength is a burden. As if power is something to apologize for. No, you are not tired. You are awake. And that is what terrifies them the most. Because they wanted you weak. They wanted you afraid. They wanted you to need them. But you don't. You never did. They just convinced you otherwise. They built a world designed to break you, and now they tremble at the fact that it didn't. They whisper now. They tell themselves stories, lies wrapped in desperate prayers. Maybe they'll change. Maybe they'll come back. But you won't. You've seen too much. You felt too much. They call you heartless. But no, you feel everything, more than they ever could. You feel the weight of every choice, every loss, every lesson burned into your bones. But you do not carry them like chains. You wear them like armor. And that is why you won. They ask, is this really the end? and you almost laugh. The end. No, no. This is the beginning. The beginning of a life without them, without their rules, without their limits, without their permission. They will talk about you long after you're gone. They will speak your name in hushed voices, torn between fear and awe. They will wonder where you went, what you became, but they will never know, because they are stuck in the past, drowning in their own regret. And you are already somewhere they will never reach. You don't need revenge. You don't need closure. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You turn. You walk away. And for the first time, the silence is yours, and you never, ever look back.